Hi everyone, really good to join you today. I'm going to read our Gospel for this Sunday. But the first thing I'm going to do is light this candle to remind us that the risen Jesus is right here with you and me. Jesus Christ is the light of the world, a light no darkness can quench. Amen. Listen to the Gospel of Christ according to St. Luke. Glory to you, O Lord. The disciples told their story of what had happened, and they were still talking about this when Jesus himself stood among them and said to them, "Peace be with you." And they were afraid and alarmed, and they thought that they were seeing a ghost. But Jesus said, "Why are you so afraid, and why these doubts rising in your hearts? Look at my hands and my feet. Yes, it is I indeed. Touch me and see for yourselves. A ghost has no flesh and bones, as you can see that I have." And as he said this, he showed them his hands and feet. And their joy was so great that they could not believe it. And they stood dumbfounded. And so he said to them, "Have you anything here to eat?" And they offered him a piece of fish, which he took and ate before their eyes. This is the gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, O Christ. God's love is more powerful than all our fears, and it's more powerful than all our dreams. The followers of Jesus, his disciples, they had seen the worst thing. They had seen a nightmare. They had seen Jesus, their dear friend, taken by the crowd, hated and beaten, and then nailed to a cross, and then they saw him killed. He died, and their hearts were breaking, and they felt more sad, and they felt more pain inside than they could put into words, and they were not expecting to see Jesus again. So when, on Easter Day and in the days after Easter, Jesus' followers saw him again, they couldn't believe it. And in the gospel story for today, when Jesus comes to his disciples, they're terrified. They know that Jesus died, and they knew, like we know, that dead people don't rise again. They knew that. They were not expecting to see him again, but there he was. Is it Jesus? And they were terrified because they thought they were seeing a ghost. It can't be real. He died, but it can't be you, Jesus. And Jesus says, "Peace be with you." When you're afraid, hear Jesus saying, "Peace be with you." And then they went from terror and fear to this joy. Is it Jesus? And they thought, it's so good, it's so wonderful, it can't be true. Like some people say, this is so good. No, you're kidding me. It's too good to be true. So what Jesus does is he shows them his hands. They had nail marks in his hands, and he shows them his wounds, and he says, "Look, see, it's really me. The body that I had, here it is now. The me that people hated, and they beat me, and they spat upon me, and I suffered all this, and here it is. All that hate I bore in my body, but here it is, and I'm with you now, and I'll never leave you. And they were overjoyed. And then Jesus shared some food with them, some grilled fish. God's love is more powerful than all our fears. God's love is more powerful than our best dreams. As Jesus says to Mary Magdalene, more can be mended than you know. More in this life can be mended than you know. Peace be with you. God's love is more powerful than all our fears, and it's more powerful than our best dream. And this is what we see in Jesus.